I'm going to go with an under. It's one of the teams that I referenced, and it's probably the second most exciting game on the slate this week. Browns and Chargers, which would be, I think, a really fun game as well in LA. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites in this game at last check. The total, 46.5, and I really like the under here. I think there is a sort of a default belief with the Chargers that because we always talk about their offense and because of what they've gotten Justin Herbert, that they are this, really offensively fueled team. And while they have a good and pretty efficient offense, they actually play things relatively slow. And you find the proof of that in their scores so far this season, right? I mean, you go back to week 1 against Washington, a game they win 20-16. Week 2 against Dallas, a game they lose 20-17. Then you go to the Chiefs game in week 3, game I already referenced, 30-24, which sure 54 points is a lot, but that was under the total there, and by far the lowest scoring game that the Chiefs have played in. And we've already talked about what the Chiefs do and what they make other teams do. And then last week against the Raiders, 28-14. So first of all, something else that should be jumping out at you, pretty good defense being played by the Chargers this season. I'm talking about holding a Raiders team that had been very high scoring the first 3 weeks to 14, holding the Chiefs to 24 in a victory there, holding the Cowboys to 20. Like, they're playing some really strong defense. Not a surprise when you add a head coach like Brandon Staley, and then they are happy to slow things down on the offensive side of the ball as well. You look on the other side of this game, you find a Cleveland team that we know is always going to live with its running game, and now is playing with a starting quarterback in Baker Mayfield, who's got a shoulder issue, and he's going to start in this game, but they're going to want to play that way too. You got two teams, I think, that are happy to let this game be slow and let this game be played into the low 20s and not much higher than that. And even if they would maybe want to get it going a little bit more, I'm not sure either team is necessarily built to do that. So I really like this under. I mean, 46.5 is not, I don't think anyone's given anything away with 46.5. I think it's a fair number for this to be at. But I just think that we're looking at like a 24-20 sort of game here with the styles that these two teams play. So I really like this under. Absolutely one of my favorite plays of the week.
And you look at last week, 14-7 for the Browns. I mean, against Minnesota, you go into that contest thinking, oh, wow, Minnesota, it's going to be high-scoring game. Minnesota offense, I did a tape breakdown of it with another coach this week, and there's a lot of things that the Browns defense did very well, and the Browns defense is capable of getting into that sort of contest too. And plus, if you're the Browns and you've got an injured quarterback, you might say, okay, we want to play this sort of game too. If the Chargers want to invite us to go, a slugfest to run fest, okay, we'll go ahead and do that. We've got two really good backs. We'll go ahead and go that route too. So yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Yeah, we've seen the Browns be able to play both ways. Right? You go back to week 1 against the Chargers or against the Chiefs, and they put up like 22 points in the first half, and you did see them hit some big plays down the field. That was a game that that Odell Beckham was not back on the field for this team yet. So they can do both things. It's the signature of a good team, which the Browns certainly are. But that's not the way they want to play, and it's definitely not the way they want to play when Baker Mayfield's banged up and when they don't have Jarvis Landry available either. So they're going to want to lean on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. They're going to want to lean on their defense, and the Chargers are just going to do what they do. Why would they possibly change the script of what's been so successful for them this season, getting out to that 3-1 start, a win over the Chiefs, the only loss coming to the Cowboys, who, as we just talked about, a very good team in their own right. Like, this is a very good Chiefs team that can win the way it wants to play, or a Chargers team. This is the way that they want to play. I love this one. Staying under.